Now let's start with the introduction. Harappan seals are probably the most unique artifact of the Harappan civilization. जितने भी आर्टिफैक्ट्स हमें हरप्पन सेटलमेंट्स में मिले हैं उसमें से हरप्पन सील्स को सबसे यूनिक माना गया है. The seals contain the animal motifs and signs from a script that is undeciphered. Undeciphered यानी कि जो कि आज तक जिसका मतलब आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट हमारी ढूंढ नहीं पाए हैं. So the seals contain those types of animal motifs and signs. Now the sources from which we get information about the Harappan settlements. So they are the houses, pots, jewelries, tools, weapons and seals of the Harappan residents. And one seal is being shown here. Now the beginnings. From here we can start our chapter actually. So there were several archaeological cultures in the region prior to mature Harappan. Mature Harappan, the Harappan settlements which was reconstructed after the destruction of the early Harappan settlement. So how it was, we'll see later. These cultures were associated with distinctive pottery, evidence of agriculture and pastoralism and some crafts. ये जो कल्चर थी अर्ली हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन की वो कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड मेकिंग ऑफ डिस्टिंक्टिव पॉटरी से रिलेटेड थी. Some settlements were generally small and there were virtually no buildings. And those settlements which were early Harappan, there were no large buildings. And it is assumed that there was a break between early and mature Harappan civilization, which is found evident from burning at some sites and abandonment of certain settlements. Archaeologists ने findings के बाद इस निष्कर्ष पे आए हैं कि early and mature Harappan के बीच में बहुत बड़ा गैप था. Now the subsistence strategies. What the Harappans ate? The Harappans ate a wide range of plants and animals products, including the fish. Archaeologists have been able to reconstruct dietary practices from finds of canned grains and seeds. Archaeologists को बहुत से हरप्पन साइट से कैड ग्रेन्स और सीड्स के एविडेंसेस मिले हैं जिससे कि वो ये अनुमान लगाते हैं what the Harappans ate. तो these are studied by archaeobotanists who are specialists in ancient plants remains. So ऐसे तरह के ईटिंग हैबिट्स को फाइंड करने के लिए मोस्टली आर्कियोबॉटनिस्ट की हेल्प ली जाती है. एंड सम ऑफ द ग्रेन्स आर फाउंड दैट साइड. सो व्हाट आर द ग्रेन्स व्हिच वर मोस्टली ईटन बाय द हरप्पन्स? दोज आर wheat, barley, lentils, chickpea, sesame, millets which are found from some sites in Gujarat, and also rice is found rarely at those sites. So in exams if you are asked to write the names of the grains eaten up by the Harappans, you can write them. Now the animal bones found at Harappan sites include those of cattle, sheep, goats, buffalo and pigs which are being domesticated according to the archaeozoologists or zoo archaeologists. Now the images which you can see on the screen are some of the images of the animals whose bones were being eaten up by the Harappans, which according to the archaeozoologists were domesticated by the Harappans and then were eaten up by them. Now the agricultural technologies. What techniques did the Harappans utilize to cultivate the crops? The representations on seals and terracotta sculptures indicate that the bull was known, and archaeologists extrapolate from this that oxen were used for plowing. From the representations on the seals which has been shown here and the terracotta sculptures like here on the screen it is being shown the bull, the archaeologists extrapolate that these bulls were being used for plowing the fields. ऐसे ही bulls को use करके Harappans अपने fields को plow करते थे. Moreover, terracotta models of bulls have been found at sites in Cholistan and Banavali. Archaeologists have also found plowed fields. Not only the bulls' terracotta models, instead of that, the archaeologists have also found the real plowed fields at Kalibangan at Rajasthan, associated with early Harappan levels. So this can be evidenced by them. Traces of canals have also been found. अब यहाँ पे canals के भी बहुत सारे traces पाए गए हैं. कहाँ पे? Places such as Shortughai in Afghanistan, but not found in Punjab and Sindh. Might be older canal would have silted up long ago. अब आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट का कहना है कि हमें कुछ जगहों पर कैनाल्स के ट्रेसेस तो मिले हैं मगर पंजाब और सिंध में नहीं मिले। तो उनका ये मानना है कि हो सकता है कि कुछ पुराने जो कैनाल्स हों वो पहले ही डीके हो चुके हैं। And the water from wells could also have been used for irrigation and water reservoirs were also used for agriculture besides that of धोलावीरा। अब धोलावीरा जैसे जो कि स्क्रीन पे आपको शो कर रहा है, धोलावीरा के कुछ रिजर्वोयर्स थे जिनको छोड़ के बाकी वाटर रिजर्वोयर्स का भी इरिगेशन के लिए हेल्प लिया जाता था उस समय। So all these things are about the irrigating sources of crops at that time. Now let's talk about the Mohenjo-daro, a very well-planned urban center of Harappan civilization. Mohenjo-daro is the most well-known site and the first site to be discovered was Harappa. Remember this point, it is very important from the exam point of view. Now the settlement is divided into two sections. The settlement of Mohenjo-daro was divided into two sections, the smaller but higher and the other much larger but lower. So these were named by archaeologists as citadel and lower town. The citadel owes its height from the fact that it's made on the mud brick platform. It was physically separated from lower town. अब citadel का height क्यों आ जाता है? क्योंकि उसे mud brick के platforms पे बनाया गया है and it was physically separated from lower town by a wall. और एक wall के through उसे lower town से अलग किया गया है। Lower town को भी सिटाडेल से फिजिकली अलग करने के लिए वॉल बनाए गए हैं। Several buildings were built on platforms which served as foundations. Now, once the platforms were in place, all building activity within the city was restricted to a fixed area on platforms. Now, at that time, such a strictness was there कि अगर एक जगह पे एक प्लेटफॉर्म बन गया तो उसके बाद उस एरिया को छोड़कर कहीं और बिल्डिंग्स की एक्टिविटीज नहीं हो सकती। तो इससे पता चलता है कि उस समय के सेटलमेंट्स जो थे वो पहले प्लान किए जाते थे और फिर एग्जीक्यूशन और फिर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द प्लान किया जाता था, ऐसा आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट का मानना है। इट इज नॉट एविडेंस, ऐसा आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट का मानना है उस सेटलमेंट के सिनेरियो को देख के। The other signs of plannings were the bricks, which whether sun-dried or baked were of standardized ratio, where length and breadth was 4 times and twice the height of the bricks respectively, and such bricks were used all throughout the Harappan settlements. और एक अलग सा साइन जो कि प्लानिंग की तरफ इशारा करता है were the bricks. Bricks were amazingly sun-dried or baked at that time and were of standardized ratio, not only in few places but all throughout the Harappan settlements. The same pattern of bricks were used, that is the height, the length and the breadth was 4 times and twice the height of the bricks respectively. Length height का चौथाई, height का 4 गुना और breadth height का 2 गुना. So this was practiced all over the Harappan settlement. Now some of the features of the Harappan settlements which make it a planned settlement. First of all, it's the laying down drains. The most distinctive feature of Harappan settlements is its well-planned drainage system. The roads and streets of lower town were laid down along an approximately grid pattern intersecting at right angles. If you see carefully at the pattern of the Harappan settlement, you would find out that all the canals or the drains are intersecting each other at right angles, making a grid pattern. If domestic wastewater had to flow out, then every house needed a wall along the street. Now see the planning. अगर किसी भी घर से वेस्ट वाटर को बाहर जाना होता था तो every house needed a wall along the street so that they could easily flow out the waste water to the main drain of the street. Every drain from the houses were connected to the main drain which went along the road, and this was the very distinctive feature of Harappan settlements which amaze us now. The residential buildings at lower town had many rooms on all sides centered at the courtyard, which was the center of all housekeeping activities. Now here we are talking about the second most important feature of Harappan settlements. that is the domestic architecture. The residential buildings at Lower Town had many rooms. अब लोअर टाउन में जिस तरह के घर होते थे, किस तरह के होते थे कि साइड में सारे रूम्स होते थे और बीच में कोर्टयार्ड होता था जहाँ पे घर के सारे कामकाज किए जाते थे. मोस्टली इन द हॉट एंड ड्राई सीजन दे यूज्ड टू सिट इन द कोर्टयार्ड and keep doing all their activities of the houses such as cooking, weaving, knitting and many others. Now the lower areas of the courtyard had no windows and the main doors too were covered with a small shutter to see the person who is at the door. This shows their concern towards their privacy. At that time, the people of the lower town were very much concerned about their privacy. That's why the lower area of the house around the courtyard, there were no windows and the main door was also packed. Only a small shutter was there and the door was there just to see who is at the door, and if they know them, they could take them in. And many houses had staircases to reach the roof and had wells outside the houses to maintain the privacy. Scholars have estimated that the settlement had 700 wells in all at present. और बहुत सारे घरों में सीढ़ियां होती थी छत पर जाने के लिए, एंड घरों में जो वेल्स होते थे, जो कुएं होते थे, वो बाहर बनवाए जाते थे ताकि कि पासर बाई जो होता था वो बाहर से ही पानी पी के निकल जाए. एंड दिस इज द कंसर्न फॉर देयर privacy. Now talking about the citadel, the third most important feature. The citadel includes the warehouse, a massive structure of which lower brick portions remain while the upper portions probably of wood decayed long ago. This is what warehouse is. And the great bath, a large rectangular tank in a courtyard surrounded by a corridor on all four sides. So the citadel consisted of two areas, the warehouse and the great bath. So the main focus we have to put is on Great Bath. We will learn about Great Bath more later. And one more thing, that the Great Bath was conceptualized that it was used for the ritual purposes, as we do today in Ganga. There were 2 flights of steps on the north and south leading into the tank, which was made watertight by setting bricks on edges and using a mortar of gypsum. Now here the scenario of the Great Bath is being shown. You can imagine there were 2 flights of steps on the north, like steps were given to go into that Great Bath, which was made, and that Great Bath was made watertight by using bricks on the edges and using a mortar of gypsum. There were rooms on the 3 sides, in one of which was a large well. Water from the tank flowed into the huge drain. Across a lane to north lay a smaller building with 8 bathrooms, 4 on each side of a corridor, with drains from each bathroom connecting to a drain that ran along a corridor. Now here also we can see a great scenario of planning and then being implemented. See how the rooms are connected, then the Great Bath, the main drain is going and getting connected to the another drain, so that the wastewater gets flowed out automatically. Then across a lane to the north lay a smaller building, and all this is just amaze us by its planning and implementation. Now tracking social differences. How did the archaeologists find out about the social differences at that time? So first thing, what did they check about were the burials. Why did they check to the burials? Because burials at that time, afterlife was very much pretended by the people. So the archaeologists checked that whether the burials in the citadel or lower town or at different places, were the burials different from each other. Like dead were laid in pots. So what did they found? That dead were laid in pots. Graves contained pottery and ornaments. Micro beads were found near skull of a male. Harappans did not believe in burying precious things with dead. सो ये सब पढ़ने के बाद हमें क्या पता चलता है कि उस समय वहां पे कोई सोशल डिफरेंसेस नहीं थे, मेन और वुमेन सेम थे, रिच और पुअर का कोई कंसेप्ट नहीं था, एंड हड़प्पन ऑल्सो डिड नॉट बिलीव इन द आफ्टर लाइफ। नाउ लुकिंग फॉर लग्जरीज। अब आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट ने क्या सोचा, अगर सोशल डिफरेंसेस एक और तरीके से पता चल सकती हैं कि अगर एक दो जगह पर कहीं प्रेशियस थिंग्स हो और कहीं पे अगर नॉर्मल थिंग्स हमें मिले, तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि जहाँ पे प्रेशियस थिंग्स होंगे वहाँ पे रिच पीपल, जहाँ पे नॉर्मल थिंग्स होंगे वहाँ पे पुअर पीपल रहते हैं। तो व्हाट डिड द आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट फाइंड? आर्टिफैक्ट्स वाइडली डिवाइडेड एज यूटिलिटेरियन एंड लग्जरीज। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट ने क्या किया कि जितने भी आर्टिफैक्ट्स उनको मिले उन्होंने उसे दो भागों में बांट दिया। वन इज यूटिलिटेरियन एंड द अनदर इज लग्जरीज। यूटिलिटेरियन इंक्लूड स्टोन और क्ले, क्वर्न्स, pottery, needles which are being used in our daily life, and luxuries were pots of faience in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa and gold jewelry, the artifacts which were precious and expensive, who could not be afforded by the normal people or the poor people. So conclusively we got to know that there were no social differences in the Harappan society. Finding out about craft production. Now, where did the amazing craft production of Harappans took place? Chanhu-Daro devoted to craft production, bead making, shell cutting, metal working and weight making. So Chanhu-Daro was a hub of craft production at that time in the Harappan civilization. The carnelian, jasper, crystal, quartz and steatite were used to make beads. अब एग्जाम्स में आपसे ये भी पूछा जा सकता है कि कौन से बीड्स को कौन से मटेरियल्स को यूज करके बीड्स बनाए जाते थे। सो हियर आर द नेम्स। सम ऑफ देम वर इन गोल्ड कैप्स। अब उन्हें बहुत तरीके से वो यूज करके अलग अलग तरीके के बीड्स बनाए करते थे। वेरियस शेप्ड वर यूज्ड, डिस्क शेप्ड, सिलेंड्रिकल, स्पेशली बैरल्स डेकोरेटेड विद पेंटिंग्स. Different techniques were used for making beads. Advanced drills were used at Chanhu-Daro, Lothal, Dholavira, Nageshwar and Balakot centers of shell objects. Now here you can see the places names Chanhu-Daro, Lothal, Dholavira, Nageshwar and Balakot can come under the category of craft production zones. So advanced drills have been found from these places. What did they show? That the craft production was given a higher priority at those times in the Harappan civilization. Now identifying centers of production. Where did the production take place actually? So the archaeologists used many elements to find out the centers of production, such as stone nodules. So the stone nodules, wherever the production would take place, stone nodules would definitely be there. So archaeologists first went for that. Then whole shells. The whole shells which are being used to make beads were also be found, so the archaeologists took it also as a source of getting information about craft production areas. Then copper ore, then tools. Copper ore, if the beads would be made, then copper ore remains would also be found there. Then tools. What kind of tools did they use? Then unfinished objects. Unfinished objects and rejects, which we will see later. Unfinished objects such as the waste which came out after making beads, and the rejects and waste were considered the most important sources by the archaeologists. As अब देखो, अगर हम कुछ भी बनाते हैं तो उसमें से कुछ ना कुछ वेस्ट निकलता ही है. सो दिस वॉज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, जिससे कि हमें पता चल सकता था कि प्रोडक्शन आखिर मेनली होता कहाँ था. सो दिस वॉज ऑल अबाउट. नाउ